Hi everybody and welcome back to my channel. Today I have another amp dyno video for you. This time I have an amplifier made by Dragster Audio Art. I don't know anything about this amplifier. If you have more information about it, let me know in the comments. I can only read the manual and I can tell you the ratings. The model number is DAB 4050 and is rated 50 watts by 4 into a 4 ohm load and 90 watts by 4 into a 2 ohm load. And there's also another rating, the bridge power. That means 2 times 160 watts into a 4 ohm mono load. So I have the input sensitivity from half volt to 5.6 volts, and you have a high pass filter, low pass filter switch, and you can set it to all pass. The crossover slope of the filter is 12 dB per octave, and the high pass filter ranges from 50 to 500 Hz, and also the low pass filter ranges from 50 to 500 Hz. Here you have the speaker connectors on the left, on the right. These are kind of plugs, and if you take a closer look you can see the gold plated connectors. The Dragster Audio Art amplifier features some nice covers. If you lift this cover you can make your adjustments, and if you lift the other cover you have access to the RCA inputs and the speakers and the power connectors. The amplifier is connected to the dummy load. This is a 4-channel amplifier, so I connected 8 ohms bridged mono to the fronts and 8 ohm bridged mono to the rears to measure the output power into a 4 ohm load per channel, all 4 channels driven. I start with 1 kHz continuous power test. Go back, screenshot, and we have a peak voltage of 42.8 volts. The amplifier delivers 4 times 58.7 watts into a 4 ohm load of continuous power with 1 kHz. And we have 27.5 amps. I calculated an efficiency of 62.3%. Continuous power test with 50 Hz into a 4 ohm load, all 4 channels driven. Let's have a look what this amplifier will do with 50 Hz. Oh, bad clipping. And I have a peak voltage of 42.4 volts. The amplifier delivers 57.6 watts into a 4 ohm load. Dynamic power test with 20 cycles. All cycles at the same voltage level. I go first to the last cycle to check if there's clipping. I can accept it. It's not very clean, we have a little bit of distortion. But I'm going to take the peak voltage and we have 43.6 volts. And now I'm going to the first cycle. We also have 43.6 volts. With 20 cycles, the amplifier delivers 60.9 watts into a 4 ohm load per channel, all 4 channels driven. Dynamic power test 1 kHz with 8 cycles. Clipping. Single shot. I observe the first cycle. It's okay. We have 43.2 volts. I'm going to the last cycle. We also have 43.6 volts. With 8 cycles, the amplifier delivers 60.9 watts into a 4 ohm load per channel, all 4 channels driven. Now dynamic power test with just 1 cycle. That means output power for 1 millisecond. And we have a higher output voltage, with some distortion of course, 47.6 volts. And now I'm going to make the 2 ohm test. That means 2 ohms per channel, bridged mono 4 ohms to the fronts and bridged mono 4 ohms to the rear, so all 4 channels are loaded with a 2 ohm load. Continuous power test with 1 kHz into a 2 ohm load. Oops. And I have a peak voltage of around, it's 36 volts. The amplifier delivers 83 watts into a 2 ohm load per channel, all 4 channels driven into full power. Let's have a look at the amplifier's efficiency. Here's the idle current. I give full power. We have 45.8 amps. I calculated an efficiency of 52.9%, all 4 channels driven into 2 ohms. Continuous power test, but this time with 50 Hz. Oops. 34.8 volts. Dynamic power test, 1 kHz with 20 cycles. All are at the same voltage level. I take a look at the first cycle and we have a peak voltage of 36 volts. And also 36 volts. With 20 cycles there's no dynamic headroom, the same output power like continuous power, so we have 83 watts into a 2 ohm load per channel, all 4 channels driven. Now I'm testing with a burst of 8 cycles. 36.8 volts. Now let's go to the last cycle. Also 36.8 volts. With 8 cycles the amplifier delivers 86.8 watts. Dynamic peak power test for just 1 millisecond. 1 cycle. It says 42.4 volts. And this is true. 42.4 volts. With just 1 cycle the amplifier delivers around 115 watts into a 2 ohm load per channel, all 4 channels driven. And just for your information, I'm performing an output power test with only 1 channel loaded. That means I connected a 4 ohm load to a single channel of the amplifier, not bridged, only 1 channel. You remember we had around 58 watts into a 4 ohm load of continuous power with 1 kHz. So now I'm doing also a 1 kHz test. We will get some more watts. Just 1 single channel loaded. There it is. 23.8 volts. And with just 1 channel loaded to the amplifier, we have an output power of 72.6 watts of continuous power with 1 kHz into a 4 ohm load. And if all 4 channels are loaded, we have 58.7 watts. like this video, you can support my channel just by giving a thumb up, subscribe to my channel, leave a comment, and thank you very much for watching. See you next time on another AmpDyno video.